Kay Adams, Nate Burleson, and Kyle Brandt are here, and we welcome back Kim Jones.
Hey, Kim.
Table.
How you doing? Ready to roll?
Ready.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Kim, how long do we have you? I have no idea.
Till 10 o'clock this morning.
And
There you
just
go.
today?
Perfect answer.
All right, you got to leave it all here at the breakfast table. We've got a lot to get to, and it's time for the lead.
The lead block.
Lead block.
Go.
Gotta love Kim Jones here on Good Morning Football. Okay, it's schedule release week. That's where you can find out all of your favorite matchups when they're happening. You can get your calendars, your tickets hopefully full, experience back to normal hopefully. Schedule release Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. It is live on NFL Network. We cannot wait. So we're going to find out when these games happen on Wednesday. We already know the opponents, though. We've known them for a bit. Take a look at the strength of schedule for the NFC East. The Eagles have the easiest regular season schedule by far of all 32 based on last year's records. But in Philadelphia, so much has to do with the success of their young quarterback. Well, here's General Manager Howie Roseman on Jalen Hurts as he enters year 2.
You're judging him off of 4 NFL starts in a tough situation with all the injuries that we have. You know, we want to see him grab the job and kind of run with it and see what you do over a period of time. And I remember you told me this a long time ago, you know, the best body of work, the more you can see a player play, the more you can make decisions on that player. We want to be in a situation where we get as much information as possible, give him the best opportunity, you know, build that offensive line, give him the right weapons, put him in a system that really maximizes his ability, and then go from there.
So we're going to have to wait and see what happens in Philadelphia. And I'll talk Jalen Hurts in a little bit. But if you look at the whole division, Nate, what is your biggest question mark?
How great can Saquon Barkley really be? I don't know why I'm getting more and more increasingly excited about Saquon Barkley. Maybe because I'm watching some old highlights from him his first couple of seasons, having those back-to-back 1,000-yard years. That rookie year where he was the offensive rookie of the year, and he was just so explosive. Listen, we have some really good backs. Derrick Henry is fantastic. He's not as explosive as Saquon Barkley. Dalvin Cook can go downhill as good as anybody. I don't think he's as agile as Saquon Barkley. Even Christian McCaffrey, who was all around fantastic, it was just something different when Saquon Barkley was healthy. And I like the fact that the Giants went out there and said, you know what, we're going to pick up that 2022 fifth-year option. They didn't need to. For a guy to come off an ACL, they could have said, let's just see how 2021 goes. And then we can figure it out from there. For them to go out there and get that 2022 option, say, we want you for this 5th year, they're looking for something big in this 2021. And with the amount of players that they're surrounded by, hopefully, Daniel Jones making that step up, and then the players they brought in to help the wide receiver group and Kyle Rudolph to the tight ends. I feel like defenses are going to have to play the Giants more honestly than ever before, which means Saquon can sit back and look at a defense that's not loading the box like somebody's moving. And that right there is exciting. I believe he's going to have a huge season. He's going to remind everybody why he's one of the best backs in football.
Well, Nate, I'm going to play off a little bit of your sort of karma about the player coming back and say the Cowboys with Dak. I don't know that I have a tremendous question mark about Dak. I think he's going to be healthy. He looked great at his introductory press or his new contract press conference.
Yeah.
Anyone would have looked very happy if you were receiving that contract. And good for him. Absolutely. But when you talk about CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and then you add their own running back in the mix. And guys, I have to believe Ezekiel Elliott is re-energized with his quarterback back. But my guess is, and I certainly don't know him well enough to say what's in his heart, but I have to believe last year in many ways did not sit well for him. He had the fumbling issue, which is not who he has been in this league. He then told us on Zoom one day he was going to go back and look at every single fumble he'd ever had to figure out what was going wrong. He has some training videos that look like he looks really good. It looks a little leaner, which is probably important at this point in his career. So I'm going Cowboys Dak, but his supporting cast as well.
No doubt. Fumbling can be fixed. We've seen it before. Tiki Barber was a chronic fumbler, and one offseason he came back carrying the ball on his shoulder. It almost fixed it. You remember that?
Like a boombox on the ear.
It really was. Like he was walking around listening to some mixtape or something, and it worked. All right, so here's a question about the NFC East. Is it okay for us to talk about the champs? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Because the champs are the Washington football team.
That's right.
And there's a huge question about them, about who is their quarterback. I don't even know. I don't know who the quarterback is of the defending champs of this division, and it's really interesting because the defense is incredible. We know that. It is like this unbelievable muscle car with whatever Hemi, V12 you car guys have under the hood. Who's driving it? You have two choices, is the way I see it. You've got this old, dependable kind of slow guy in Ryan Fitzpatrick who's going to stay in the right lane with his blinker on. He'll get you where you need to go. And then you have a young, wild, terrifying driver in Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke, is this the guy? Here's what we know about Heineke. Young, unproven, and probably gave the world champ Bucks as much as a run in the playoffs as Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Pat Mahomes did. And that was one hell of a showing. And then they kind of backed it up where, Ron was on our show a couple weeks ago, Ron Rivera, and answered the question about, were you tempted to move up and get a quarterback in the draft? And he basically said, yes, we were. We thought about it and then said, no, we're going to go with what we got. What they got is Ryan Fitzpatrick, who we love, but has never been in a playoff game, and Tyler Heineke, who's been in more playoff games than Ryan Fitzpatrick. One of these guys is going to start. I don't know who it is. But if Washington gets a quarterback, look the hell out. They're going to win this division. If that quarterback can play, I think they win this thing going away. The defense is that good. The coach is that experienced. Who the hell is it? I don't know. But if they get it, look out. That car can move.
A Hemi, did you say? What kind of? I
A
have no
Hemi? Truck people talk about Hemis. I don't drive trucks.
I have no idea what that is.
H-E-M-I. It's a Hemi, right?
You were
Truck
like,
Twitter, tell me.
here's $1 million. Tell me what a Hemi is. I could not actually help you.
Yeah, truck
I do
Twitter.
know this, though.
I know.
I live in Manhattan. There are a lot of Eagles fans in Manhattan. Whenever I run into one that recognizes me from the show, the only question I get about the Eagles is Jalen Hurts any good? Is he the guy? You heard Howie Roseman said, well, he had 4 opportunities to do that. You could say the weapons weren't there last year. The offensive line wasn't healthy. We weren't able to see if he's a good quarterback. I will say, when he was out there, he undeniably had a spark. There was a spark. He brought a little something different to this Eagles offense. He led them to a win over my Saints, mate. I saw that happen. The Saints were not ready for Jalen Hurts. So we'll see what he looks like. If he has it, though, it's exciting to think the Eagles could actually do something this year. It all depends on him. I think I'm guilty most at this table, Kyle, saying that I think this is a rebuild year. You shouldn't expect much. I think they'll probably finish last in the division, yada, yada, yada. Unless this guy's good.
Unless this guy's good. So Dak, we know, is good. I look at these 3 Jones, Jalen, and let's just throw Taylor Heineke.
You love ranking the NFC East quarterbacks.
I do, because I can't figure them out. All 3 of these guys, if you got a game-winning drive from one of these 3, who are you picking? I don't know. I think maybe Daniel Jones, but he's played the most, but he hasn't been good.
2 in his career. Dak has
he does?
more than that.
Well, Dak, I think, is in his own class.
Yeah.
But
it's Dak
Washington,
and everybody
Philly,
else.
New York, I don't know. It's really interesting.
I think you should put Fitzmagic in your head for Washington.
You think Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to start for Washington?
Think so.
Do you?
I don't think they brought him in there and said, old guy whose kids do Rubik's Cubes in 25 seconds. We're going to make you compete for this. Ryan Fitzpatrick said this offseason, and this is a tell, I think, that he's never been more popular on the free agent market.
Really?
In terms of interest. I don't know. He certainly could have gone to another team that would have said the job's yours.
Miami was like, we're done with you. We got to commit to Tua.
Right, understood.
You are our best quarterback.
What does that say about what they think about Tua down in Miami? It all comes full circle here at the breakfast table. I hope he gets a chance here to start. Last time he got to be the guy. It's very rare that he's always one of the guys, but he was good. He had a 10-win season when he was given the opportunity with the Jets back in 2015, 2013.
This close to the playoffs, lost at the Bills. A game they probably should have won.
Kim Jones here all morning long. Get ready for the biggest NFL